little loud. Hey guys, Nassel Sound Guy with me here. Now with me I have MGG Alpha.
G'day.
How you doing?
Doing pretty well. How about you?
Yeah, good. And how'd your tournament go?
Unfortunately, out pretty early compared to what I was hoping for, but won 2 of my sets and then lost the 3rd one.
Yeah.
And yeah, so 1 player from each group moving on. So it's not fully decided yet, but expected that Limskis will get out instead of me from the group.
That makes me smile because he's a forever player. But no, I feel for you, man. Yeah, Alpha is one of our regulars to the scene here.
Yeah,
super nice guy, leader of MGG. Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 leaders hanging out.
2 leaders just chilling.
Yeah, we got ACO next week.
Yeah, we do. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I plan on being casting just for that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, this is going to be me. Yeah, Maynard! That's
just there the entire time.
The entire time. I'm going to be a
just
flavor
like
caster.
Stroking the dreads.
Like, Maynard, come here. And he's like,
That's
come on, dude. I was like, Artosis tweets you, man. Like, come on.
You're like BFFs with the coolest guy in the world.
Exactly. You're BFFs with the guy with the strats that I steal. Have you seen that his new PvP strat?
PvP?
Yeah, he goes dark DTs. Like,
no, I haven't.
You know the Archon bust? Oh, we are jumping. Oh, by the way, we are casting NXZ versus Birkses, so it's going to be a GM PvZ. It's a lot of PvZs today. There's not.
Yeah,
Terran. Is there any Terran?
Terran's always been pretty low on the. Brisbane's always been pretty low on the Terran scene. Yeah. But lately, we've had Forbes has been away on holidays, and with a lot of study, he's the regular high Terran, and then there were a couple like mid-range Terrans, but they seem to be disappearing lately.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're getting straight into this game. It's pretty quick. Oh, I don't like that color scheme, and we should have changed the.
Yes, we should.
The overlay. But like, I know you guys might be upset that there's no names. There is actually names. It's just very poor.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. See, there's the overlay. It's awesome. So we've got Birkses. He plays for the team IV. Oh, we should actually introduce them.
Yeah, we should probably do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting up here in the top right-hand corner, we have the teal Zerg player playing from Aviant Tor. We have NXZ.
NXZ! Sorry. I'm going to do Street Fighter voice. Can you do the Darth thing? Yes.
Okay, and starting down here in the bottom left-hand corner from Team Envision, we have the blue Protoss.
Birkses.
Yes!
Now, yeah, so PvZ, and we will be having this first game on Neo Planet S. So, not the largest map, and the biggest thing about this map to note is the difficulty in taking a third. As you can see, there's a fair bit of distance in this open area to get from the natural to the third, and the same coming up in this direction if you choose to take your third up here, which is even more open.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, it's pretty common to see a lot of 2-base timings on this map from basically any team you can expect it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of 2-base.
Yeah.
I'm a Protoss player. So what sort of builds do you expect from Birkses on this map in particular? Because we know NXZ is probably going to play it pretty standard, pretty safe.
Yeah, the current metagame is going for that Stargate into either Colossus or High Templar. I'm trying to prepare, prepare for Mutalisk and then get the High Templar or Colossus for the Hydralisk. But once again, with this map, doing a build like that can get really difficult to try and take the third, because taking thirds are already really difficult with builds like that. With builds like that on most maps, so on a map like this, it can become very difficult. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see some sort of Sentry Immortal all in, or 2 bases. But one thing with NXZ is he's just got some of the best early game defense that I ever see.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm liking this BM. Like, it's not really BM if you see like what the Dota players do to each other. I was watching yesterday, and if, like, something wasn't going one of the team's way, they'd just pause the game.
Just pause and be like, I'm out.
Yeah, and then they'd start BMing each other, and then the other team would unpause the game. So it's like, it's the most BM stuff on the planet, like tactical pauses and stuff. I absolutely loved my viewing spectatorship of the Dota tournament yesterday. It was quite a good experience.
Yeah, they had a pretty good Dota turnout from what I heard. Yeah. So good to see LanSmash, great organization. They do 4 LANs a month, like every quarter they'll do a LAN.
Yeah.
And
always a 2-day affair.
It's good, yeah. So they seem to be doing really well. Now here we do have a Nexus first. Works really well with a map like this. There's a very small gap, so if you did scout any sort of 10 pool or anything, you could easily just wall off.
Yeah,
so Nexus first works pretty well. And we have NXZ doing this similar standard opener with getting that fast third before gas.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a fairly standard game. Like, it all depends on what sort of tech we see out of the Protoss player.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Protoss who decides how this goes for the first stage.
Yeah.
And then it comes into the Zerg if they go Mutalist or if they go into some Roachling. NXZ is the kind of player that he often likes to open with a bit of Mutalist aggression, but only a small amount. He won't overcommit to it. He'll just get a couple Mutalists to do some harassment, and then he'll do the big heavy tech switches to try and catch a Protoss player out. Now, both of these players, they are both regulars on the Brisbane scene. Had NXZ, who's just basically, except for one of the IMs where he came second, he comes first in nearly all Brisbane lands.
Yeah.
And even then, he's got top 2 for all of them in the last 6 months, I think.
Yeah, well, those
since
are
WCS last year.
Those are the lands that Moonglade hasn't showed up to.
Yeah, so...
Moonglade doesn't normally show up to local lands, I think.
Yeah, Moonglade hasn't been coming to any of the local lands. He came to WCS Brisbane qualifier last year, and that's the last Brisbane land I've seen him at. So, yeah, he has come today, and he was saying that he does plan to start attending more Brisbane lands. So.
Yeah, we're like twisting his arm and stuff, even if he just comes to spectate it. It's always good to see him about. Like, you get his insights into the game. Like, I think that out of all the players in C, he is one of the very few players that I would call a legitimate pro gamer.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I think that a lot of players in this region, like, kind of play for prize money, but they don't play for a living.
Yeah.
And Moonglade is one of those that just stands out as one of these high-tier players that just... He comes into the scene, he makes bank, and then he goes home. It's like...
Well, he's one that basically everyone around the world respects and takes seriously. I think he's probably the only Australian or C player that I can really think of that most pros and even the Koreans and all that would take as, you know, a respected and serious player. So we have other players like Pig and Mafia who are really good in the C scene, but they just haven't made as much of a splash overseas.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I think
I think that
Mafia's time is definitely coming. Like, I can just feel it. And eZrg is doing really well at the moment. Anyway, he did open Stargate, and he's getting a Void Ray now, so it looks like it's going to be that +1 Void Ray timing, but the Void Ray's a little bit early, and he's not sending it at the base, he's sending it in like an Overlord path.
Yeah, I was about to say this could even be a defensive Void Ray that some players get for a bit of the defend you from Roaches while you get up a couple of Phoenix, but he's going for a second Void Ray. Yeah, so that tends to point more towards doing a bit of aggression.
Yeah, and he's getting this relatively fast Robo as well, but the Robo's already been scouted. The lair is halfway finished for NXZ at this stage. The speed is 3/4 of the way done. +1's almost finished for the Protoss player, and this is shaping up to be. I'm thinking it's going to be a 4-gate Zealot timing.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely some sort of aggression here with the amount of Void Rays he's getting. I'm curious as to the Robo, if he's going to be getting any sort of Immortals from it, or will it just be for War Prism and Observers? But
so he's probably going to.
It's a lot of money to spend to get a Robotics just for the Observer, so he'll need something else from it, either Immortals or War Prism. So we'll have to see what he chooses to go with. But there we go, a second. Oh, there we go for the Immortal. Okay.
Alright, so where do you think his build's going at the moment?
There is a play that I've seen a couple players do, which is it's basically a Sentry Immortal mixed in with about 2 or 3 Void Rays, so that's what it's starting to look like at the moment. You've got to be really careful not to lose any health on these Void Rays. You can do peeks and pokes and trying to kill any Zerglings and Overlords around the map, but you definitely don't want to take any hull damage.
He's taking a third at the bottom right. Yeah, so...
Oh, there it is, okay.
I don't agree with ever sending your probe out alone, because any decent player is going to have a Zergling there.
Yeah, there's going to be either a Zergling or a Overlord. I do think he sent the let's go Void Ray there first, so NXZ doing the nice move once he lost his original... Oh, he sent the Zealot there first.
He's producing 11 Hydras at this stage, but Birkses has got his robotics facility on the way.
Yeah, this is going to be a time that if NXZ takes really aggressive straight away with these Hydralisks, he should be able to do some damage, and it's looking like that's what he's preparing to do. We do have decent enough creep spread getting it started, so the Hydralisks can get sped. And as we can see, the movement speed upgrade is going for the Hydralisks, so if they can get over to this third in time...
Yeah, there's lots of cannons going down.
They can do a lot. But yeah, here we see all the cannons that are being built. That's what you really want to do against these Hydralisk aggression. If you can get the cannons up and get your units in position before, but once again, the problem with this map is how far away these bases are. That if NXZ commits to holding his units over here, these Hydralisks can fight the cannons. Cannons are a support, not purely by themselves, but support. So
so the Lings and the Hydras are pushing up now. The first Colossus is only halfway done, so he's not going to have this first Colossus in this engagement. Do the Void Rays get pushed into the fray? No. Is he choosing to sack this third base? That's the question here. One Void Ray goes down. Will the second go down?
It looks like he's going to come and try and hold it, bringing in the Sentry, and he does still have these Pylon and a couple more cannons. He has got a flank on the Hydralis, but will it be enough? Because these Hydralis do really well against both Sentries and Immortals.
Oh, look at that.
Here comes the Colossus.
Oh no, the Colossus isn't doing anything. It's taking huge damage. The Colossus goes down. The Hydras are just getting free reign over this army. This could just be GG right here.
Yeah, units streaming over across the map. If that Colossus had stayed alive and had been positioned behind the Sentries and Immortals, he could have taken that fight there. But with this, so many Hydras are still alive, and then the stream of Zerglings is that this base is definitely going down, without a doubt.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Birkses at this stage. Birkses is going to need to sit back. He's going to need to sack that base. He's going to need to turtle, and he's just going to need to pray that he can pull off some kind of miracle.
Well, he is getting his next Colossus out, and he is doing the smart move by sticking back and playing defenses. But if we have a look at this wall really helps the Hydras to be able to create a concave around there, because there isn't much room for the Protoss units to be standing behind the wall and shooting on the other side.
Yeah.
So NXZ could really take advantage of this kind of wall. But there is one Colossus alive, but with the Roaches coming in as well, this is still going to be fairly hard for Birkses to hold, but it's looking like NXZ is going to do the safe move and pull back.
Well, NXZ has Hive on the way. And Hive is almost finished for NXZ. It's 13 minutes. He could be heading into like a double spire. He's got free reign to do what he wants right now.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot now. NXZ has been doing... Oh, he is choosing to go Vipers. He is one of the players I see mixing in a lot of mid to late game Swarm Hosts.
Yeah.
And just attacking with one side with the Swarm Host and then flanking around with the other side of the army. But he has decided going to go Vipers. And that is a great move when you know that you're really far ahead of your opponent. Because there is no way that Birkses off these two bases will be able to have both Colossus, the Stargate that he had before, as well as High Templar. And without High Templar, Vipers will destroy a Protoss army.
Well, he's going to retake that third now. It's a lot later than he would have liked. And I think like a problem with that engagement that was so critical is, yeah, he lost that Colossus before it really did anything. But he kind of, his cannons weren't in the correct place to deal with the army. Like if he had a pylon, say, down here, and he knew that the army wasn't coming this way, like if he had the awareness that the army was shooting up here, he could have been a little bit more generous with his cannons around this natural here.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of map vision to be able to tell what way. And even then we saw that his army was still at the natural, holding the natural wall, just being too, nervous to move out, which is part of the problem with this map. It's so hard to position your army when defending that third. But here we go with a good number of Vipers. We have 6 Vipers at it at the moment, all with near to full energy after using that consumability and all those evolution chambers. And with these, the Colossus won't last very long.
And they're going to get pulled. Oh, look at those. They've been pulled, but that wasn't the best pull I've ever seen. But that
he did get
Violet Cloud is amazing.
And there we go. That was a great pull right on top of the army.
GG.
There we have the GG.
That was a tough game. That was a really tough game.
Yeah, some great play from NXZ, getting that aggression at the third base, and that's what we're talking about at the very beginning of this game.
Yep.
It's such a hard map to try and get a third base against Zerg, and you really can't rush it. I think at the very least you had to wait until the Colossus were out before starting to try and get it. As you're saying, cannons positioned in the correct position by getting that bit of map awareness of what side's coming, and even if just that control in that very first Colossus that came out, if he had kept that alive, he would have held off that wave of units at least.
Yeah.
And with the Colossus and then the growing snowball, he might have been able to hold that third base.
Yeah, well, losing that third is huge, especially in that sort of position, especially when NXZ didn't commit a lot to units at that stage. He just he was like, I want to...
It was a pressure, not an all-in.
But that pressure works so well in NXZ's favor, and Birkses just played a little bit greedy. He kind of made a Stargate and did nothing with it. Like when you make 2 Void Rays, you have to do damage with those 2 Void Rays. They're 250,
250 minerals and 150 gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with a single Void Ray for defensive, but getting 2 for defensive, I really don't like. If you're just going to be going Overlord hunting, get 2 Phoenix.
Exactly.
They can do a lot more, and they're a lot better for scouting and everything.
Yeah, and you can always kind of do damage with Phoenix. You can make all the Overlords retreat. You can keep them in the base. You can force spores, and you actually do damage. Like a Void Ray can't really kill a queen, but 4 Phoenix can. Like
yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be if I was a Zerg player and I saw 2 Void Rays. I'd just build more queens.
Yeah.
But if I saw 4 Phoenix, I'm going to be like, well, I'm guaranteed to lose a queen. I'm going to ask to be invited when ready.